Under the sea, under the sea. So this segment I call What Time Is It? And it comes from the idea of, how does time work? Now, we have a book club here now at Namaste today, and if you're a part of that book club, you know that we're doing a series of conversations with God. That's what we're reading right now. And you can join the book club by navigating to namastetoday.club. It's a Facebook club, and just come on in. What we are discussing, like I said, are the conversations with God. And the conversations with God are a huge discussion between author Neale D Walsh and his channeling of God. This particular moment, talking about time and how reincarnation works, comes from the second book, if you're interested. And some fascinating stuff comes out on the topic, says God. God says that to imagine time, you have to imagine that time actually goes up. It's not left to right, like we think, or right to left, but up. Time goes up. That's the first thing to understand. And that the beginning and the end have already happened, so to speak. Okay, so imagine that each lifetime is a Postit Note, and each time you live a life, you basically it lives in a layer in the Postit Note under the archetype of that you are, that you have been, that you have lived, and the space and time between them. And we've all been these different archetypes, I think, and have these past lives. The author in the book is said to have 947 past lives, and and you get a sense for his spiritual connection by his conversation with God. So it's like, wow, he had 900 lives, and I see where he's at with God and his frustration and stuff. So it's like, I think I've had 900 lives too, and I think a lot of us have had 900 lives. And what God says is, yes, we all pretty much have been doing this many times. We have a choice every time between lifetimes. But what is a lifetime? Well, it's one of these Postit notes. But I think the expression "your time is up" literally means this. It's not that you're dead. It's that it's time to go up. It's time to go up to the next Postit, to the next higher vibration, to ascend higher. Now, this, of course, includes space. You're not just on a Postit note. You are somewhere on the Postit note. And so we are occupying space in time. You can actually look at this as Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, because instead of first life, second life, third life, fourth life, or 5,000 lives. Those are stacks of Post-its, actually. But the point is that time comes down to the space-time continuum where the two come together and you map yourself out through it. Now, God says that everything in space-time is in one eternal moment of now. So you have the capability of feeling the entire future and the entire past in any of your lineage. The end of the universe, the big crunch is the top, the big bang is the bottom, and the big bang and big crunch are already set in motion and in place. It seems that we choose a place within this stack to focus on where we want to experience when we come in and out of the incarnation. And I'll have another segment that talks about reincarnation and what he says about the process of reincarnation, which is very interesting to me anyways. So our Post-it note basically go up through and around through space and time. And this is, to some degree, your Akashic record. You will be there at the Big Bang, and you will be there at the Big Crunch. You already are there. There is no real sense of time. It is all happening. And I believe that we are focused on one place. Now, one thing that I've always wondered is, do we hop around linearly? We might go in and go tweak the end game real quick, and then we might go down into the pink layer and work on that, and then we might jump up to the yellow. I get this feeling that we kind of might hop around actually in time. I don't know, and get opportunities. It seems certainly possible. God says that you can go back in time and forward in time, and he describes deja vu as part of that you have seen it, that you have glimpsed into it, and you bring back residue, he says, from the experience, and psychics can read that residue. So it is all very interesting as we kind of open up and cross over Neptune. The whole point of the sun crossing Neptune is that center pole there that holds all the lifetimes together, that pole is lit up right now. That means that we are easily communicating up and down through our past lives and putting all of the dots together and figuring out how it all, is the big great story of who we want to become. Now, awareness is a different thing, and part of this questioning in the book comes from Mr. Walsh asking about if a soul is old, right? What's an old soul? And Creator says, well, souls are all the exact same age because the beginning and the end has already happened, and you're there in the beginning and you're there in the end. You're there always, with me always. So what marks the difference of a soul? And it's actually the awareness that we're sensing. So you can basically take over more space and time with your consciousness. And I don't mean take over as in control others. I mean, of all the things Earth offers, your awareness expands over time. So the people that we perceive as an old soul is actually an expanded, wide soul in the spectrum of things. And Creator points out that you can remain skinny all the way to the end if you want. There's no expectation except for you to discover and create who you really are. So I find this all to be fascinating. And as we are in Pisces and we're lighting up our multi-lifetimes, you know, just my advice actually is just to write it down on a Post-it and put it on the wall. When you have an image of yourself or have something come to you, just put it on a Post-it and put it on the wall. We're just unpacking our subconscious.